how that special community created one of the most evil organizations against black people that ever existed. And why? Because it makes it easier for them. People are more inclined to allow them to do their evil shit when they hate someone else. So here we have is a PDF, and he's an unaliver of a 13-year-old girl. He's an engineer, and one day he's invited this young girl to his place as like to be with her, to, you know, as it's acceptable according to them. And part of that is that he, after he did what he wanted to do, he unalives her. And when the police come up to find out who unalived her, he blames this black guy that works with him. He's like, no, that black guy is the one that did it. Now, the black guy then claimed and said, hey, look, the reality of what happened is that I was just a security guard. He paid me he paid me money to stand in the front and just to look after him. And then he's told later, after he unalived her, he told me look after the body, help me get rid of the body. So this guy turned around and, both people were hated. Both people were hated. So what ends up happening is that the people start doing an investigation, the police, and they find that all the stories that he mentioned, that he never met her, that he didn't know her, were false. That he had met her, that there was people who were eyewitnesses that he had met her, that he had taken her in. There was a lot of witnesses, and it went up to Leo Frank saying, this is the guy, we found the guy. And they were both charged, this guy with the death penalty, and the other guy with 1 year imprisonment for, not reporting it. The story goes that the other people who follow this guy's way of life decided, how can they take down one of ours when he's one of ours? We don't deserve to be unalived when it's for somebody who's not one of us. Like, do they even count as human? What they did is they created the ADL. And the ADL, since 1914, have been going around and, protecting PDFs and unalivers who have the same ethnicity or faith, whatever you want to call it. And that's their sole purpose, to protect themselves. What they did to try to kind of like lower their hatred for their community after it became clear that it was from that community, they funded a movie, and that was called The Birth of a Nation. It depicts, people with a white hat, and it depicts black people as evil people, that they were doing bad stuff. And then these people with white hats, because, it was back in 1985, I think, that group existed and then disappeared. They brought the resurrection of that group, that these black people were there to unalive them and to do bad things and take over their race. They hired this guy, D.W. Griffith. He's the one that ends up making this movie, and then we have the creation of that group. As you can see, 1915, founded in 1915, the second cook by inspired by the racist film The Birth of a Nation. Now, they thought that, it takes them out of the equation, but the crew pretty much hated both of them. All they did is just made an extra person that the world hated, instead of just allowing the man who did the crime to do the time. Like, that's it. That's all people were expecting at the time. And by the way, he was pardoned by the president at the time. He wasn't innocent. He was pardoned. But anyways, these people grabbed him and they ended up getting rid of him anyways from jail. They weren't going to allow him to be pardoned, and he was unalived. So I guess depends on what you think, good story or bad story. But what we see here is that organization has not learned their lesson, and they continue doing the same stupid stunts, trying to turn people against each other. So they have forgotten about, their evil shit. Now, the 20th century, 21st century, we have Ben Shapiro and his movie Run, Hide, Fight, Infidels. This is a movie he's come up with, and he's trying to, because of what they've done in Gaza, they want us to hate each other. They want the world to hate Muslims, because it just makes their life easier.